What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings here on Anfield Agenda after Liverpool have gone to St Mary's and turned around a 2-1 deficit to win by 3-2. A result that I'm sure you're aware puts Liverpool 8 points clear of Manchester City at the top of the Premier League table and 9 points clear of Chelsea and Arsenal. Obviously a massive game next Sunday to come against City at Anfield, but right now life feels pretty good as a Liverpool fan. So what I'm going to do over the next few minutes is go through the referee, the players and the manager, giving them a score out of 10, asking you guys to play along at home if you'd like in the comment section. We've already had the Anfield Agenda live viewers submit their player ratings as well, so you'll see two images there on the screen in the square. The big square is going to be my score, and the one in the top right corner of the image is the Anfield Agenda audience one. So before we get stuck into it, of course, I've got to say a massive thank you to our incredible sponsors. We are being brought to you today with thanks to our friends at Manscaped. You can get yourself 20% off and free shipping store-wide, whether it's the Chairman Pro package or the Lawnmower 5.0, which comes as part of the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. You can get that 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com. It doesn't even matter if the items are already on sale. Use our code Anfield20 at checkout and get that 20% off and free shipping. Right, let's get stuck into it, and we will start off with the referee. I think you know where this one's going to go, folks, right? It's not going to be... I'm not going to be overly happy here with the referee. Let's say a couple of things, though. Firstly, I can understand the referee making the penalty call on the edge of the box. It is difficult in real time, and for me, it wasn't on him to decide if it was in or out. He made a judgment call. Referees can make mistakes. They only get one look at it. But what I don't accept is that Michael Oliver in VAR didn't even ask the referee to go to the monitor and judge if he thought it was inside or outside. The arrogance of Oliver is so much that he decided he didn't need the ref to look at it. He was able to say that there was no conclusive evidence. And that's what that they went for, the PGMOL, by the way. No conclusive evidence to show it was outside, even though it clearly was. So again, I ask, why not ask the referee to go over and make his own decision? Because I thought we wanted referees to be the ones with the final say. No, not Michael Oliver. But anyway, to the referee, I didn't think he was great. You could argue that maybe Lallana could have seen a red card. I believe Roy Keane certainly felt so. And it felt like there was too many soft yellows given in the game as well. I didn't know much about the ref going into this, and I don't think too kindly of him after it. So I'm going to give the referee today a score of 5.5. You guys feel I've been a bit generous there and have gone for a 4.5 in your scores. Next up, Caoimhín Kelleher. So unlucky on the penalty, made the save, but obviously Armstrong followed it up and managed to find the ball home. I thought Kelleher made the saves he needed to when he was called upon today. Their second goal, nothing he could do about that. It was past him and in the net before he knew what was happening. So I thought Kelleher did well, and at points in the first half again, made big saves when needed. So for me, Caoimhín gets a score of 7. You guys have gone a little bit higher with a 7.4. Next up, Conor Bradley, who you know I'm a big fan of, but I have to call it as I see it. And today I thought both of our fullbacks were just nowhere near the levels required. At least with Conor Bradley, we can talk about the fact that he's a young fullback learning. You can see that Trent was missed there today, and hopefully again this points the club in the direction of making sure Trent signs that new deal. But for Bradley, he will have better days than this. He'll certainly look at it as a learning experience, but if we're being fair on the scores, I don't think he was great today. So I've given him a score of 5.5. You guys have gone higher with a 6.4. Again, maybe you think I'm being too harsh, but that to me was not a great performance from either of our fullbacks. Now to Ibu, who needs to stop this nonsense of pushing his arms out to push people. Certainly it was no penalty on Armstrong, but the yellow that he received, it's just madness. He needs to get that out of his game. This was probably his worst display of the season, but he still did okay. The Southampton second goal, I don't know where we were at. We were absolutely just opened up there too quickly and didn't close down. I thought Ibu was okay today, but nothing more than that. So I've given him a score of 6. You guys a little bit higher with a 6.2. Virgil, I thought, was the better of the two centre-backs today. Involved in some good stuff as well in and around the opposition penalty area. He was getting a nosebleed there at one point where he had to pass it in the penalty area, and you could see he was a bit uncomfortable with it. But all in all, shepherded the line and gave away a mistake for the first goal, the penalty that was given. It was Verge that lost possession further up the pitch, and then of course Andy Robertson made that silly challenge. So for me, even with that mistake, I'm going to give Virgil a score of 6.5, and you guys have gone for a 6.6. Next up, Andy Robertson, and the debate is going to linger on here. Arne Slot has said to us that it's a lack of rhythm and match fitness from a broken up pre-season that has meant Andy Robertson hasn't really been able to get into the flow of it. We are now 12 games or so into the league, 18 games into the season, and he's still not showing what we know he was capable of. So I think, for me, I'm starting to wonder, is it the fitness or is it Father Time catching up with him? Either way, I do think this is a position we are going to have to strongly look at moving forward. Today, obviously, he played because Costas was ruled out with a knock. So I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to give Andy Robertson a score of 5 today. I just didn't think it was a great performance at all. Into midfield now, Ryan Gravenberch. Look, he's class. I don't know what else to say. He just is. Got a knock on his foot in the first half as well. I think it was, no, maybe it was the second half, sorry. Thankfully, he was able to continue on. But everything that comes through the middle of the park that looks good starts off with him. We need to go out in the January window and bring in some protection so we can rotate and rest them up a bit. But today, I've given him a score of 7.5, and you guys not too far away with a 7.6. Curtis Jones. So he's been very good this season, but today I don't think he was involved in enough good stuff for me. Certainly didn't stink the place up or anything like it, but again, I've seen a little bit too much hanging on to the ball for a bit too long. But the effort and work rate is there, but you've seen the difference Macca made when he came on. So I'm going to be honest and give him a 6, and you guys have said a little bit higher with a 6.4. I feel like you guys have been a bit too generous today with your scores. Dominic Szoboszlai, again, bit of a redemption arc for Dom. Got himself a goal and delighted for him. What a finish, by the way, on his left foot. I said to everybody all week in the build-up to the game that we were going to cause Southampton problems when they tried to play out from the back. We pressed them, we forced a mistake. We did, and Dom buried it. But not only that, I thought his performance today was brilliant. He covered every blade of grass. Looked like he was the old Dominic Szoboszlai. And look, I'm very happy with that performance from him. So I am giving him a score of 8. You guys a little bit lower with a 7.9. By the way, in case you're wondering why my scores are only in half-point increments and the viewers are the 7.9s, they're averaged out. So with mine, I just give it in halves. But with Connor bringing everyone's scores together and averaging them, this is why we have the 0.9s or the 0.6s. Next up, my friends, is Cody Gakpo. I don't think he really seized the opportunity today. Obviously, Lucho, the manager, felt coming back late with a bit of jet lag as well from the long flights from South America. He had an opportunity to maybe establish himself as the left-sided starting player. I don't think he took that today. Certainly wasn't awful, but it was a fairly average performance from Cody Gakpo. So I've given him a 6.5. You guys pretty close with a 6.6. Mohamed Salah. Where do we start with the great man? Well, let's talk about his first goal today. And I'm sure you probably know this already, but Mohamed Salah has now become the third highest scorer for Liverpool away from home. It is Ian Rush, I think, with about 100, and I think it's 159. Then comes Roger Hunt with 112. And then Mohamed Salah has 100 away goals for Liverpool in the league campaign. Just tremendous. Add into that, of course, the penalty, which he showed up again, showed tremendous bottle and scored. And you can see why Liverpool fans desperately want Mo to extend and stay at the club. So today, Mo did what we needed him to do, which is step up and show why he's a leader of that attack. And that first goal, I can't talk about it enough. It was so clever. The keeper was coming out. Normally, you'd expect your forward to bring that down, go around the goalkeeper and slot it home. But he didn't even let Alex McCarthy set himself, and he toe-poked it past him. So clever and so beautiful to watch. So for Mo, I've given him a 9. You guys have gone a little bit higher with a score of 9.2. Next up, another player who's been dividing opinion a lot this season, and that's Darwin Núñez. Look, I understand that people get annoyed with me talking about the fact that I like what I'm seeing from his work rate, the yards he's covering, his pressing from the front, but you want more from him with regards to goals and assists. I understand that. But all I can say to you is this is a better version of Darwin in my mind than we started the season with. But of course, I'd like him to add some more goals to his game. That being said, today I've given him a score of 7. You guys have gone a bit lower with a 6.6. So maybe it's me that's been a little bit generous here. But I stand over what I say about him. I think people feel like I have this mad love-in with Darwin. I don't. I call him out when I think he stinks to gaff up. But I really am enjoying this resurgence of effort, and particularly his defensive work. So maybe I am a little bit blinded there. Next up, Lucho. Again, made a difference coming off the bench. Gave us something extra on that left side. Was running at defenders, I think, a little bit more. Had a header that was tipped over the bar from McCarthy. And just looked lively as soon as he came on. So I'm going to give him a score of 7 for his cameo from the bench. You guys equal with a 7 as well. Next up comes Alexis McAllister. Somebody who none of us expected to start the game. Obviously one game away from that suspension. And he was travelling from South America. And I think you could see what we were missing when he wasn't on the pitch today, because we looked a lot better when he came on. Not afraid to have a crack from distance either. Surely a shoe-in to start against Real Madrid midweek. So for Alexis, I'm glad he came on. I'm glad he made a difference. I've given him a 7.5. You guys maybe a little bit lower there with a score of 7. Wataru Endo, the closer, as we now call him, comes on when we're ahead to see the games out. The new James Milner. And there's nothing wrong with that either. So, look, always great to see Endo get a run out. He is a model pro, and you can't help but like the man. Today, I've given him a 6 for his cameo off the bench, because he wasn't on that long, and, you know, I don't think he had that big of an impact. But you guys have gone for a 6.7. And last up, our manager, Arne Slot, who we can now say has played 18 games as Liverpool manager, won 16, drawn 1, and lost 1. And also showed his team is able to win in different ways. Went away today, went up, then went behind, and then found a way to get back into it and win. Not a point, a win. Arne Slot deserves immense credit. Yes, we need to figure out how we can kill teams off. Yes, we need to go through the gears and show the top level of what we can do. But we are 8 points clear at the top of the league, and this man keeps pulling out result after result and deserves all the plaudits he gets. Never mind your Peps, never mind your Artetas. It's the Arne era, and I'm here for it. I've given him a score today of 7.5. You guys have gone for an 8.1. That concludes our player ratings, my friends. Really appreciate your support as always. We will be back tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda. We're also going to have some interesting content coming up tomorrow. I'm recording with David Lynch, so we'll be talking about the game, looking ahead to Madrid, and of course, talking about the contract situation. Thank you once again to our sponsors, Manscaped. Don't forget, you can get 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com by using our code Anfield20. And most importantly, thank you to all of you guys for supporting our channel, for watching, for hitting the like button. It means the world to us. We've now passed 282,000 subscribers. We wouldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.